All right, thank you so much. Welcome to the Red G Fox channel. I am Danny, and today we are breaking down and coming with some great facts about the episode Home Sweet Home. Overall, it's a 7.4 out of 10, and it's season 4, episode 7. What are our channel thoughts on it? Yeah, I would say right about the 7.4. It's not one that I rush out to see every time, but it does have its funny moments. We rank it, as we said, 7.4. One of my favorite parts about this is seeing Fred interact with the different environment as he gets a whole different culture. You can check it out right here.
An honor to meet you. I'm Fry Yukio, and this is my noble grandfather.
Oh, Noble.
Yeah, it's got some really good moments in this. Now, the one major drawback I have is that it really takes away from the previous episodes of who Fred Sanford was. As you see in the past, when he would get a really good deal, he'd be like, take it, take it. And Lamont was always the one that seemed to get too greedy. This one is a complete different Fred that we're used to seeing.
Look, Lamont, you only paid $15 for it. Let's sell it. We'll take it.
Right? Like that. When you see that, you go, that was the Fred I loved. That was the one that always saw a good deal, went for it. On here, he's completely opposite.
And you see, let me explain to you. See, $20,000 is all right, but it just don't seem enough to part with all this.
Regardless on how I feel overall, you can comment below. Do you agree with me on this? Do you think they kind of changed his character and was it for the better? But it still is a funny episode with some really good points.
Relax. How can I relax? Last time I saw something this big, Taj was having trouble trying to kill it.
Hey, look, Pop, I'm warning you, man. Japanese people are very shrewd businessmen.
Me too, but son, listen. We got him by the teriyaki.
We're going to cover our number one favorite scene in this. We're going to right now start with our fun facts, and then we'll go over all the actors so you say, hey, I've seen them somewhere before and familiar faces. So let's get right to it.
I didn't know that.
All right, our first fun fact. This is something I had no idea till I looked up on it. But there's a scene in this where Fred actually he's getting ready to make an offer and he wants to get some homemade fortune cookies to try to influence the people who are coming to buy the house. Let's look at it real fast.
You will meet a tall, dark, handsome stranger. Give him what he wants.
On the surface, you go, okay, it's kind of funny. But this is Red Fox's actual joke he used in one of his comedy routines to where he would say, he would basically say it's the only fortune cookie he ever came across that would be true, where it would say you would meet a tall, dark stranger. He would leave the restaurant after paying his bill, and then he would say the N word. He would say an N word would come up to me and rob me. So it was true. A tall, dark stranger did run into him. So that was a little fact. When you see this episode next time, always remember this was Red Fox who actually thought of this, and that was one of the reasons for it. Another interesting fact in this is that they make it all the way up to $27,000 when they try to buy this house off Fred.
Absolute top price of $27,000.
27,000.
See, it always upsets me. Fred, take the money. Lamont said it. Get the heck out of there. Anyways, if you bump that up to nowadays, in 2024, that would be $169,956. So you go, okay, that's a lot of money. It's equivalent to that. But the cost of living and of homes have gone drastically up over what they were back in those days. That said, the price in Watts now, if you went to go get a house like that, the median home price today in Watts goes for around $530,000 and $191. So obviously, it would have had to have been a much higher price because no one's going to sell their house when it's worth 4 times that compared to what it is on there. But that was a very interesting fact. I had no idea. I'm glad that someone else already broke those down. You can look these numbers up. All right, our last final fact. This one's pretty cool. I had no idea because I watch MASH occasionally. All 4 family members, the grandfather, the other one guy who helps out, the big dude, we'll get to him in familiar faces, the main guy, and then the female who's speaking for the family, all 4 of them at one point or another appear in the series MASH. So let's get to our familiar faces.
May I ask you a personal question? Who are you?
All right, our first one is Helen Funet, and that's funny. She plays the character Miss Funet in this one.
Yeah, both of us.
Hi, I'm Lamont Sanford.
How do you do? I'm Helen Funai, and
She's still with us today, and she's been over 40 movies and shows, probably the least amount of everyone that we cover today in Familiar Faces. The very last one she was ever in was a 1989 movie called Best of the Best. So after I think that movie, we see she's either retired. I have no idea if she got married, whatever happened in her life. But 1989 was the last year she was acting. She also made another appearance on Sanford and Son. You might have missed it because honestly, I've never put two and two together. Comment below if you ever caught this. She was the lady in Sanford and Rising Sun. Remember him and Achu get together and they make some money, and at the end he uses it to get a masseuse. She is the same actress. I never stopped and said, hey, that's her. I didn't even think it was her, but pretty cool. So she was in Sanford Son again. Her biggest role came as Kim Douglas in Days of Our Lives with 72 appearances. So yeah, that's a big time, that's a huge chunk of numbers in the daytime show. Next up is someone I remember. We'll get to the show I remember him from the most, and that is Yuki Shimoda. He played Mr. Funai.
Honor to meet you. I'm Funai Yukio.
He comes in, he passed away in 1981. Wow. No clue. I thought, looking at him, being in the other shows that he was, I thought, maybe this guy made it to the late 90s, maybe even 2000s. No, passed away in 1981 at only the age of 59. Hate to see that when heck, that could be me soon, but I hate when people die so young. Over 65 movies and shows, with his final being the year he passed away as Sergeant Mifune in A Town Like Alice. So that was the last thing he did. He did do, as we spoke earlier, MASH. He did do 3 episodes of MASH, different characters every time. 6 appearances in the show Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu. I never miss a show.
One of our favorite, Policewoman. Anytime we see someone who did Policewoman, I always like to bring that up. He did make an appearance in that. And the one I remember him from the most, and I still see him because I watch his show frequently, he was in one of the episodes in Andy Griffith. He's the one where he teaches Barney judo and actually acts like Barney to beat up one of the bullies who was bugging him. So let's get to our next guy. All right, our next one is Bob. I want to get his name right. Okazaki. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
This is my noble grandfather.
Oh, Noble.
He was the grandfather of the family right there. He passed away in 1985. He even outlived the last guy we covered. Passed away in 1985 at the age of 83. He appeared in 50 movies or shows, more than that, 50 plus movies or shows. He appeared at a reoccurring character named Bruce in Archie Bunker's Place. That was about 4 years before he passed. So he was on there for about 7 or 8 episodes. After that, he didn't pass away. He was able to still go on and do other things. I never knew this. He was in Blade Runner. I must have missed that part. 2 episodes, as we said earlier, of MASH. Here's another reoccurring theme. He appeared in Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu.
A lot of these people were in Kung Fu. I love this. He was in the Red Skelton Hour. So I'm like, that's one of the few people that could say, hey, I appeared with Red Fox and Red Skelton, 2 of the biggest entertainers and comedians named Red. That's a cool little feather in his cap when it comes to his personal notes. And finally, we have Nathan Jung, who played Saburo.
This is my cousin, Saburo. He and my great-grandfather are visiting us from the mother.
He passed away in 2021 at the age of 74. He appeared again, 50 plus movies or shows, over 50. Beverly Hills Ninja. It's funny when you see that and you go, they get these roles and they go, man, they fit right in. Beverly Hills Ninja, Surf Ninjas, and Big Trouble in Little China. So he loved to do the ninja action type flicks, whether it's comedy like he did in Sanford and Son, or more serious stuff. Actually, are any of them serious? Even Big Trouble in Little China, which can be drama, action, and seriousness as well, did have some comedy. He was as well, Policewoman, like we said. And another fun fact, this is one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. He appeared in the movie The Amazing Spider-Man back from the late 70s. That's it with our familiar faces. Let's get to the best scene of the episode. All right, my favorite scene of this episode, right? There's a couple good ones.
Do you care for a snack or anything like that? I think I got some rice in the cupboard.
I said, this is not an episode where I go, oh my gosh, scene after scene after scene. But the best is when he does go and visit their home and he sees all the culture, and they even say, hey, check out the samurai sword they're hanging there, and their ancestor had actually taken his own life with it. And Lamont's like, whoa, this is heavy. This is really cool. Fred has a different perspective. Let's look at Fred's response, because this to me is my favorite scene of the episode.
My great-great-uncle used that sword to kill himself, commit harakiri, over 100 years ago.
Amazing. What's so amazing about killing yourself? My uncle Alfonso in St. Louis killed himself. You don't see me hanging wine bottles all around the wall.
I love that. That is so funny to wait. Yeah, so Great moment, great scene. That whole section in there, just him getting on the floor, eating the fish eggs, all sorts of good stuff, is some of the best of this episode. But final thoughts on this? This is not an episode I rush to watch. It is actually in the 136 episodes, it is in my bottom 30. You can comment below if you think it's higher. We've had people say, hey, episodes like this turn out to be in their top 5, which I go, what? But we all have different tastes, right? And that's what I love about it. But for me, it is not one I rush and watch. Other than watching it today, I have not watched this episode in over a year. So that's why it's like I don't go back to it very frequently, other than happen to look it up for this show or if it was randomly on TV. But when you have the ability to choose, it's not one I'm going to choose. And definitely not one I would recommend to a new fan. If you just got a family member, if you got someone you say, hey, yeah, I seen Sanford. Oh, I wouldn't go, yeah, you got to watch this episode. It's not one that I would put for that. That being said, like all episodes of Sanford and Son, we just covered one of the scenes. There are always funny things about that one that make us always love the show. It's good. Good episodes, bad episodes. Just that's why I'm a huge fan of season 6. Even when people say, I hated it, I didn't really even watch season 6. It's just more stuff about people we love. When the characters turn into people that you feel like almost like your family with because they're in your living room night after night after night. It doesn't matter what they're doing. That's why I also enjoyed the series Sanford. And if you've never seen that without Lamont, definitely go check it out. And finally, let's give a little shout out to our members. Power to the Foxes.
Power to the Foxes.
All right. Thank you so much to Jim Offit, who is this close to coming for a full year membership. Look to have a little special post just for him. I really appreciate that. We also have Mike Lutton and we have Tandy, who are part of our Gray Foxes. The Esser Raiders are down there. You can join today as well. 99 cents. A new feature I've added is daily trivia for members only. You're going to get trivia once a day about something random. You're going to get other random posts. You get special emojis. And you can also get members only videos as cheap as 99 cents a month. So please help out the channel, join today. And we got live shows coming back. I got to get to do that. I miss doing that. That was some of the best where we would communicate. So we got a lot going on in this channel. I hope you really enjoyed this. Comment below anything about this episode or something you'd like to talk about, even with the other show, Sanford. So have a great day. Be safe. Enjoy your week. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.